Welcome back to the deep dive. When we think about getting better at English, we often aim high, right? Complex words,
Yeah.
tricky idioms.
Yeah, the really advanced stuff.
Exactly.
Hmm.
But our material today, it pulls us back to something maybe more fundamental. We've got these notes here focusing on just five pretty simple English phrases, things you'd use in, like, a coffee shop.
That's right. And our mission really isn't just about learning five phrases. It's about cracking the code. The hidden social rules.
Okay.
These phrases, they teach you how to handle everyday situations with, well, confidence, like ordering food, sure, but also how to politely point out a mistake or how to react when someone offers you something.
It's the difference between being right and being polite, isn't it? When something goes wrong, like getting the wrong order.
Absolutely. We're diving deep into that. Why these five? What do they tell us about sort of cultural norms around disagreement or even gratitude?
It's fascinating because, native speakers use these all the time without thinking. It's almost automatic.
Hmm. They're like social lubricants, really. They smooth things over.
So getting these right means you can handle those little bumps in the road, those small conflicts, without stress. Make it easy.
Exactly. They're incredibly high return phrases for the effort. They signal, hey, there's an issue, but let's fix it together. No big drama.
Okay, so let's dive in. The source material uses this core scenario, right? A customer asked for tea, but they got coffee instead.
Yeah, a really common low stakes mistake. Happens all the time.
So let's break down how that conversation actually unfolds in the notes. Because it's kind of a model, isn't it?
It really is. The first thing the customer does is key. They don't just blurt out, this is wrong.
No.
They start with, excuse me, acknowledging the employee, and then immediately, I have a small problem.
That small is doing a lot of work there, I
And
imagine.
huge. It's immediate de-escalation. It signals this isn't a catastrophe.
So it tells the employee basically, pay attention, but you don't need to brace for impact.
Right. And look at the employee's response in the dialogue. Oh, hello, how can I help you? Straight into helpful mode. No defensiveness.
Because the customer set that initial calm tone.
Precisely. Then comes the clarification. The customer says, I think this is not my order. I asked for tea, but this is coffee.
I think we definitely need to unpack that later. But notice how clear and, well, efficient that statement is.
Yeah.
Fact, fact, fact.
Yes. And this is where the service recovery really clicks into gear. There's almost a script for this in English-speaking service culture. You, the listener, should really pay attention to these steps.
Okay, what are they?
First, identify the problem. The customer does that. Clear.
Got it.
Second, the employee needs to apologize. Here they say, I'm so sorry. Crucial step.
Mm-hmm.
Third, validate the customer's claim. The employee says, you are right, this is a mistake. Or sometimes they might say, let me check that for you. But the point is acknowledging the possibility of error.
So confirming the customer isn't crazy or mistaken?
Exactly. And fourth, resolve the issue. I will make you a new tea right now. Problem solved.
So identify, apologize, validate, resolve. That sequence is the path.
It's the expected path for a smooth resolution, yes.
Yep.
If any step is skipped, especially the apology or validation, well, things can feel off.
Right, even if they fix the order quickly, if they don't say sorry or acknowledge the mistake, you might still leave feeling a bit, grumpy.
Absolutely. Validation is psychologically important. It says, I hear you, I believe you, and I take responsibility.
That rebuilds trust instantly.
Now, there's another layer here in the dialogue that I found really interesting. Before explaining why they can't drink the coffee, the customer says, thank you, the coffee smells very good.
Ah, yes. That's a brilliant bit of social maneuvering, isn't it?
Why do that?
It's about softening the rejection that's coming. When you have to say no to something or point out a limitation, sandwiching it between positives is incredibly effective.
By saying the coffee smells good first, the customer makes it clear. My issue isn't with your product quality or your effort. It's about me.
So it protects the employee's feelings, keeps the mood positive.
Exactly. It shows empathy. It recognizes the person behind the counter is, well, a person, not just a function.
And because that whole interaction started politely and the mistake was handled well.
The employee then moves to the next step in service recovery: compensation, generosity. They offer to say, sorry, the tea is free today.
And that offer forces the customer into a new kind of social navigation, right? Which leads us straight into analyzing the next couple of key phrases.
Okay, let's really dig into that first phrase now, the one that started the whole interaction.
Phrase 1. I have a small problem.
This phrase is just gold for polite assertiveness. The key, as you pointed out, is small. It means something's wrong, yes, but it frames it as not very serious.
But, for the listener, if their food is cold or their key doesn't work, it might feel like a big deal to them in that moment. Why downplay it?
It's about using what we call mitigating language. You're softening the message. Your goal isn't really to perfectly express your internal frustration level.
Okay, what is the goal then?
The goal is to get help efficiently and pleasantly. Saying, small problem lowers the perceived threat. It makes the service person less likely to feel attacked or overwhelmed.
So if I just walked up and said, excuse me, I have a problem, what's the difference in impact?
Oh, huge difference. I have a problem. Sounds alarming. Maybe confrontational. It puts the employee on the defensive immediately.
Right, like you're bracing them for bad news.
Exactly. But small problem signals, look, this is manageable. We can fix this easily. I'm not going to yell. It gives them permission to relax and just focus on the solution.
So you're essentially trading a tiny bit of maybe emotional accuracy for a much smoother, faster resolution.
Precisely. And think how versatile it is. The source notes give the hotel key example. Hello, I have a small problem. My key does not work. It's standard, polite, effective, works for almost any minor inconvenience.
Are there times when small problem is the wrong choice, though? When it sounds, I don't know, silly?
Oh, definitely. You wouldn't use it for a genuine emergency or like a major financial error. If your bill is wrong by hundreds of dollars, saying, I have a small problem, minimizes their mistake too much.
Okay, so it's context dependent. For serious issues, you need a more serious tone.
Right. You might say, excuse me, there seems to be a significant issue with this charge. Could I speak to the manager? The language matches the gravity.
Gotcha. But for everyday stuff, wrong, coffee, cold soup, broken key card, small problem is the way to go.
It's like an unspoken promise of reasonableness. I'll be cool if you help me fix this. It shows you understand social dynamics, not just vocabulary.
Okay, so that's phrase 1, the polite opener. What about phrase 2, the actual statement of the error?
Right.
Simple, direct, factual.
Exactly. This is not my order. It gets the core information across very efficiently. You got X, you expected Y.
But then there's that politeness multiplier the notes talk about, adding I think. So I think this is not my order. Why add that layer of doubt if you know it's wrong?
This is where we get into the nuance of saving face. And it's really important in, well, many English-speaking contexts. Adding I think introduces plausible deniability.
Meaning?
Meaning you're not directly accusing the employee of making a mistake. You're framing it as, well, an apparent mismatch. It seems this isn't mine.
But isn't that a bit indirect?
Yeah.
Especially if you're, say, 100% certain that latte isn't the tea you ordered. Could that confuse someone?
It could, potentially, especially for learners from more direct cultures. But the social function usually outweighs the literal accuracy here. I think protects the employee.
How so?
It leaves open the possibility, however small, that the mistake wasn't entirely theirs. Maybe I misheard the name called, maybe there was confusion at the till. It softens the accusation.
So instead of you messed up, it's more like, yeah, something seems off here.
Precisely. If you say, you gave me the wrong drink, the focus is on blame. Defensiveness might kick in, but I think this isn't my order. Shifts the focus to the problem itself, the mismatch, and invites collaboration to fix it.
It preserves the employee's dignity, which ironically makes them more likely to help you quickly.
Yes. Think about work emails. You wouldn't usually write, you attached the wrong document. You'd write, hi, I think this might be the previous version, or just checking if this is the right file. Same principle. Avoid direct accusation.
So phrase 2, especially with I think, is about correcting errors without causing friction. Very useful.
Okay, so the mistake is identified, the correction is underway, the employee offers the free tea as an apology.
Right, but before the customer deals with that offer, they had already explained why they couldn't drink the coffee they accidentally received. And that brings us to phrase 3,
Yes.
a simple little phrase, keep you awake, meaning something stops you from sleeping.
It's fundamental for talking about routines, energy levels, health, things like that. And it's a very efficient way to explain a personal limit.
Yeah, it's clear but doesn't require you to get into, like, detailed medical reasons.
Exactly. It's a kind of social shield. If you need to politely decline something, citing its effect on your sleep is usually a very acceptable reason.
So, the most obvious example from the notes is about coffee. I don't drink coffee in the evening. It can keep me awake. Simple, direct, explanation complete.
Mm-hmm. Or you can use it looking back. I shouldn't have had that soda last night. It kept me awake until 2 a.m. Explains why you're tired today.
But it's not just about food or drink, is it? The notes mention other things.
Right, that's where it gets even more useful. Noise, for example. My neighbor's music was so loud last night, it kept me awake for hours. It states the impact clearly.
And the social refusal aspect seems key here.
Absolutely. Imagine a friend wants you to go to a late night concert on a Tuesday. Instead of just saying, no, I have work, which might sound a bit boring,
You could say,
you could say, oh, that sounds fun, but I can't. If I stay out that late, the excitement, it just keeps me awake and I'm useless the next day.
ah, so you're using a physical need sleep as the reason. It's harder to argue with that.
Much harder. It frames your boundary as a health necessity, not just a preference. And that's generally respected. Gives your no more weight without sounding difficult.
It's a neat little package. 3 words conveying a complex physiological reality. Concise, effective.
Very. Okay, so the customer explained why no coffee, using that idea. Now, the employee offers the free tea. This triggers the next phase.
Right. The employee says, the tea is free. And the customer's immediate response is phrase 4, oh, you do not need to do that. What's going on there?
This is that crucial, polite initial refusal we talked about. It essentially means that's unnecessary or please don't go to the trouble, but it's wrapped in appreciation.
But why refuse? If they made a mistake and are offering something free, why not just say, oh, thank you, and take it?
It's a kind of social performance of humility. Immediately grabbing the freebie can sometimes come across as, well, a little greedy or entitled. The initial refusal shows you're not expecting it.
So it's like saying, I appreciate the gesture, but I don't want to put you out, even if they're obliged to offer it by company policy.
Even then, yes. It acknowledges the offer as a kindness, a generosity, not just a transaction. It manages the social debt idea.
Explain that social debt part again.
When someone offers you something generous, especially as compensation, it creates a slight imbalance. The initial refusal, oh, you don't need to do that, acknowledges their effort and minimizes the sense that you feel owed.
Is there an expected next step after the refusal?
Often, yes. The typical pattern is offer refusal, polite refusal, you don't need to. Reassertion of offer, no, really, I insist, or it's okay, please. Grateful acceptance. Well, thank you, that's very kind.
So the refusal is part of the dance. You have to do it to show you're not taking advantage.
In many situations, yes. It shows awareness of social graces. Think outside the coffee shop. A friend offers to drive you, really far out of their way. Oh, wow, thank you, but you really don't need to do that. I can figure out the train. You show appreciation, but suggest an easier alternative first.
What about at work? If a colleague offers to help you with something big,
Same principle. That's so nice of you, but honestly, you don't need to do that. I should be able to manage. It respects their time. If they insist, then you accept graciously.
okay, so phrase 4 is about navigating that moment of receiving generosity, showing humility while still being appreciative.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance, but this phrase nails it.
All right, so the dance is complete. The customer did the polite refusal. The employee insisted, no please, it's free. And now the customer accepts. How do they close this out positively?
With the final phrase, phrase 5, that is very kind.
Okay, but again, why not just thank you very much? What does adding very kind achieve?
It elevates the gratitude significantly. Thank you acknowledges the action receiving the free tea. That is very kind. Acknowledges the person and their intention.
Ah, so it's commenting on their character, their goodwill.
Precisely. You're saying, I recognize that this gesture comes from a place of kindness, not just obligation. It makes the thanks feel warmer, more personal, more sincere.
It feels more polished, maybe.
Definitely. Native speakers use it a lot because it sounds natural and appreciative. It signals a higher level of social awareness, perhaps. You're complimenting the person, not just the outcome.
So it makes the employee feel genuinely valued.
I think so, yes,
Right.
especially after they've just fixed a mistake. Ending on, that is very kind, leaves them feeling good about the interaction, despite the initial error. It validates their effort to make things right.
Where else would you use this?
Oh, all over the place. Someone holds a door for you when your hands are full. Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Mhm.
A colleague spends extra time explaining something complex. Wow, thank you. That was incredibly helpful. That's very kind of you.
The stranger gives you directions.
Perfect example. Thank you so much for your help. That is very kind. It just adds that extra layer of warmth and acknowledges their voluntary effort.
So in the coffee shop scenario, it perfectly seals the deal. Mistake made, politely pointed out, corrected, compensated, and closed with genuine warm appreciation.
Exactly. It transforms a potentially negative experience into a positive one, all through careful language choices. Hashtag tag tag 4.2, quick review, and practice integration.
Okay, let's just quickly run through those 5 phrases again, just to lock them in for the listener, following the flow of that coffee shop interaction.
Good idea. So first, you notice the problem. You need to start the correction politely.
Phrase 1, I have a small problem. Sets a calm, collaborative tone.
Then you state the actual error clearly but gently.
Phrase 2, ideally with a softener. I think this is not my order. Focuses on the mismatch, not blame.
Then maybe you need to explain a personal limitation, like why you couldn't accept the wrong item.
Phrase 3, it can keep me awake. Or a similar explanation of a constraint. Clear, concise justification.
Then comes the offer of compensation, and you need to handle the generosity gracefully.
Phrase 4, oh, you do not need to do that. The polite initial refusal, showing humility.
And finally, after accepting the offer, you close with warm appreciation.
Phrase 5, that is very kind. Acknowledging the person's goodwill.
And the source materials practice questions really highlight this, asking why the customer used small problem, or what that is very kind expressed. It's about understanding the function of the language in context, not just the words.
Right. It's about social fluency, using simple tools for maximum positive impact. Hashtag tag outro.
So to wrap this up for you, the listener, these 5 phrases, they're like Swiss Army knives for everyday English interactions. Mastering them gives you a huge confidence boost.
Yeah, we let you handle those slightly awkward moments, correcting an error, refusing something politely, accepting help with real grace. You sound assertive, but also respectful and aware.
You navigate the situation smoothly, like a native speaker would. It's less about complex grammar and more about smart social strategy.
So here's a challenge for you based on the deep dive. Try to pick just one of these phrases this week, just one, and actively look for a real chance to use it. Maybe say, that is very kind when someone does you a small favor. Or if you genuinely get the wrong thing somewhere, try out, excuse me, I have a small problem. I think this isn't.
Yeah, the goal is just to try it, practice using it out loud, see how it feels, build that confidence through actually doing it. You might be surprised how smoothly things go.
Absolutely. And just a final thought to leave you with, something a bit broader perhaps. We talked about calling a problem small to manage the interaction.
Right.
What if we applied that internally? How many things in our own lives feel huge and stressful simply because we label them that way in our heads? What happens if we consciously try to frame more of our daily hurdles as small problems first? Does that give us more control over our own stress?
That's a really interesting question. The power of framing our own reality. Definitely something to think about.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into some deceptively simple yet powerful English.
Yes, thanks for listening. Keep practicing those phrases.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.